Hi there, Nathalie with you today with 2 ideas on how to create beautiful cards using the new Altenew Scrapbooking collection. Enjoy the ride. Let's get started. Today we are celebrating the new release of Altenew's latest scrapbooking collection, Enjoy the Ride. And this collection is beautiful. It has a set of 12 by 12 papers, a 6 by 6 paper pad, a set of washi tapes, chipboard stickers, also alphas, as well as 2 sets of ephemera. One is all flowers and the other one is more of icons and elements that you can add to all types of projects. Today I want to share a few ideas on how to create simple cards using some of the elements from the collection. I've started this card by pre-cutting a piece of a Nina Solar white cardstock to fit 4.25 by 5.5 inches. That's the size of my panel, and I'm using my ink blending tool and also frayed leaf mixed media ink, and I'm also going to come in with a bit of Forest Glades mixed media ink, and all I want to do is add a bit of that green tone to the top left corner of my panel. And all I'm going to do is with my ink blending tool, I'm picking up a bit of ink and pretty much just lightly dabbing my ink blending tool on the ink pad, and then I'm going to go in a circular motion on the panel. And these inks are crisp, they are just like butter, so they're going to give you the perfect coverage, and the ink blending tool is actually going to provide that soft perfect blending on your paper. So once I've added the light green, which in this case is frayed leaf, I'm gonna come in with a bit of Forest Glades, and you can see it a little bit hazy. The screen is just because I'm shaking the table quite a bit while doing this. So while that sets for a little bit, I'm actually gonna dilute a bit of the Forest Glades ink. I'm just gonna stamp the ink on my mat, add a bit of water, and that's just gonna dilute the ink. And I'm just gonna use that diluted ink to add some splatters onto the panel. Once that's ready, I'm gonna set it aside to dry. While my panel is drying, I'm actually gonna use the 6 by 6 paper pad to fussy cut some of the flowers. And the beauty of having a 6 by 6 paper pad is just that the pattern is a bit smaller, which makes it perfect to create cards. So I'm gonna take my time to fussy cut a few of these beautiful white flowers and the leaves, and this is gonna be what I'm gonna use to build my card. So I'm carefully trying to get rid of as much of the black paper that surrounds the flowers, and I'm going to try to detail this as much as I can. By that I mean I'm just going to use, if I need to, my X-Acto knife just to get rid of those inside little pieces of black paper. I just want to have the silhouette of the flowers. Again, I'm okay if I cut some of the flowers that are at the edge of the paper, because I'm actually going to use them to create my panel, and I'm going to take advantage of that to create kind of a frame, a corner on my card. So again, I'm going to go off camera and just continue working on fussy cutting all these florals. I'm going to say at least 4 or 5. Now that I have everything set up, the first thing I want to do is I want to create a frame on the panel. For that, I am actually going to use my scoring board, and I'm just going to flip the panel onto the board, and I'm going to go around 1/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to create a frame around the panel. That's just going to create kind of an embossed look onto it. Once I have that in place, I'm actually going to set up the idea that I have in mind. So I'm just playing with where I'm gonna set all these flowers. So I'm just moving them. Like I said, I wanna kind of cover the area where I added the ink. Think of it as a corner. Now to add the sentiment for this card, I'm going to bring the Happy Birthday stamp set, which is the collaboration with the Stamping Village, and I'm going to use the sentiment that Altenew provided, which is the Sending Birthday Wishes, and I'm just going to stamp it with black obsidian ink. Once I have that ready and until the ink sets, I'm actually gonna add some foam adhesive behind all the fussy cut flowers, and then I'm gonna attach them, creating that corner filled with flowers. Once that's in place, I'm actually gonna go ahead and attach the panel onto my card, and then I'm gonna bring antique gold sequins, and that's just gonna bring the sparkle onto this card. I'm gonna make sure that I sprinkle the sequin and pretty much throughout the corner and also around the title. That's just gonna bring some of the shine that I'm looking for and break a little bit of the green that I have on the background. And super simple. Like I said again, this collection is vibrant. It has these really rich tones on the papers, which is gonna make it perfect for all types of paper crafting, not just card making. So again, you're gonna see right now I'm just setting all the sequins, and then once I have them ready, I'm just gonna take some glue and attach them so that they won't move, and that's about it for this card. Super pretty. Love how it turned out. It was very simple. I also want to give you another idea on how to create a very simple card using some of the elements of this collection. For this, I have pulled the gem frame die, and I'm going to cut actually one of the papers from the collection. I want to go with something very simple. There's quite a bit of pattern on this collection, but also the B-sides of these papers are more of a neutral tone, and there's ones that even look like they have a painted background, like this peach kind of blushy tone. So I'm gonna cut a piece of it and go ahead and use the die to cut one of the frames. I'm also gonna cut 2 more frames out of white cardstock. Once I have them in place, I'm actually gonna glue them together, kind of stack them to create a dimensional die cut. I just want to add some dimension. I want to create all those different levels on my card. So all I'm doing right now is using a bit of glue just to create the dimensional die cut by gluing or stacking the die cuts together. Now that I have that in place, I want to create kind of an anchor for my panel, and I think that the best way to go about it is with something dark, so that's going to make the edges of the frame stand out. Now again, I'm gonna pull another paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and I went with this really deep green. It's just gonna bring the pink in the frame out. So all I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut, I'm gonna say around a 1.5 inch strip of the paper, and I'm gonna place it in a horizontal through the middle of the card. Now I also kept one of the centers of the frames because I'm actually going to use it to stamp my sentiment onto it. So you're going to see that right now I'm just using some glue just to hold that little strip of paper in the middle of the card, and I'm gonna use my scoring board just to create the fold on the paper. I want that crisp edge. Now before I set everything in place, I'm actually going to use one of the chipboard stickers. I really like that butterfly. I think it creates that beautiful soft the curvature of the butterfly against the frame. It just creates a really nice combination on the card. And then I'm gonna bring the sentiment. This sentiment is from the Build a Flower Triumph Tulip, and I'm gonna stamp it onto the center or the negative piece of the frame using black obsidian ink. But before I set everything together, I'm actually gonna use one of the washi tapes. I'm gonna bring some of the tones of the pink. This one has, I'm gonna say, it looks like watercolor stripes on the washi tape, and I'm gonna attach it just at the bottom of the paper strip, and then I'm gonna start securing everything in place. I'm gonna start by securing the paper strip, and then I'm gonna go ahead and glue my sentiment in place. Then I'm gonna glue my little frame, and having this stacked dimensional die cut is gonna bring a bit of I'm gonna say different levels onto the card, make it more interesting, give it some dimension, which is what I'm looking for. Now before I glue the chipboard butterfly onto my card, I'm gonna bring some antique gold metallic thread, and I'm just gonna create a little bundle and glue it at the bottom left corner of my little frame. And I'm just gonna make sure that the little I'm gonna call them the little strands of thread are kind of peeking from behind the butterfly. Once I have that in place, I'm just gonna go ahead and glue the panel onto my card. And just to bring a little bit more shine, I'm actually gonna bring some gems from my stash just to add them at the bottom next to the butterfly, and just a few more next to the sentiment. I hope that you're joining our blog hub today as we are celebrating the new release, and you can see lots of inspiration for many of our design team and also some guest designers. Remember that you can always check all the materials that I use using the links that I provided in the comment section. And also remember to subscribe to the channel. There's always lots of content being added. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.